Thank you. Hare Krishna devotees.
Hare
Please,
Krishna
Prabhuji,
Hare
Sagar Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Please accept my humble obeisances and Dandavat Pranam to all of you.
Hare Krishna.
I welcome you to the Bhakti Vaibhav Fast Track Batch 1 English. These courses are being organized by the Radha Govinda Temple, ISKCON Kolai, Mangaluru. And I invite you especially for and on behalf of His Grace, Sri Namani Sadas Prabhuji, and Her Grace, Rasarangini Radha Mataji. As usual, we shall start with our prayers. You will say your prayers, keeping the mute button on. Prayers are very important because ultimately we need to understand the message that Lord is going to convey to us. And unless we are in a position to understand them, we won't be able to put it into practice. Learning without putting anything into practice does not carry any meaning. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Savitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Dati Sopadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapatakabalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagara Raghunatarvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sagar Lalita Shri Vishakharvitasya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrunda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please do follow me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye.
Shrutatam Sukataha Krishna Purya Shravana Kirtana
Shrivatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana
Hridayantaha Soya Bhadrani Vidunoti Surastata
Hridayantasya Bhadrani Vidunoti Suhritsatam
Nasta Praeshva Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Naste Praeshva Bhadreshu Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki
Bhagavati
उत्तमश्लोके
Bhavati
भक्तिर्भवति
Naistiki.
वैष्णवी
Gita Course.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 2, Chapter 4, The Process of Creation. The second canto basically looks after three main areas. First three chapters are confirming that Bhakti Yoga is most superior. 4 to 7 chapters describe Sarga and Visarga, the primary and secondary creation, in the form of a dialogue between Father Brahma and Son Narada. Sarga and Visarga goes on extensively from chapter 4 to 7, and it is most popularly known as Leela. This Leela is done under Nidra Avastha of Lord Vishnu or Karanodakshaya Vishnu in the causal ocean on the bed of Ananta Shesha. And this is what has been described. It begins with chapter today. So the fourth chapter actually just begins with the debate between the son and the father about Sarga and Visarga. Chapter 8 to 10, the last three chapters, describes mainly the questions of Maharaj Parikshit and Chatusloki Bhagavat. This chapter is made up of 25 verses. First four verses describe Sutta Goswami, whatever is going on around. 5th to 10th verses describe Parikshit Maharaj's question, and Parikshit Maharaj is asking four important questions, the answer of which are given subsequently in chapter 5, 6, and 7 in the form of process of creation. And from 11 to 25 verses are the prayers of Sukadeva Goswami to the Lord. If we look at this little bit in detail, first four verses describe Sutta Goswami about happenings, and the first verse describes Parikshit Maharaj concentrates on the discussion of Krishna with apt mind. 2 to 4 verses describe Parikshit detaching himself from the material things and material inquiries. 5th is your words are enlightening. That's what Sukadeva Goswami explains to Parikshit Maharaj. Verse 5 to 10 describes the 4 important questions, and we'll go through it separately, but in nutshell, it is asking about questions pertaining to the creation and subcreation. So that's the first part of creation. And then the last part from 11 to 25, there's 15 verses which are actually the prayers of Sukadeva Goswami for the Lord. So this is in nutshell the chapter that we are looking at. I would like few volunteers to read, and those who are interested can please raise their hands. Srila Prabhupada describes the chastity in devotional service. Sanatani Jayashri Mataji, can you read the detail of the Srila
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada?
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Mataji.
The only way to become attentive is to understand the temporary nature of this material world and the eternal nature of devotional service. For this, Lord Kapila gives a nice way to become attentive in 3.27.21. First point, the serious discharge of devotional service, Tivira Bhakti, hearing about the Lord for long time, Shruta Samprataya Chiram. When we do these two things, we can get attention and consequently get attraction towards the Lord, and then automatically we become chaste towards the Lord. The hearing for a long time makes the soul gets impression about the Lord continuously, and thereby even a hard-hearted fellow will melt in devotional service after hearing for a long time, that is subject to Lord mercy on that soul. Just like iron rod put into the fire becomes fire itself. In the same way, the Tivara Bhakti would invoke our original dormant attention and attraction of the Lord to stop very quickly.
Sure.
The factual position of the
Hare
soul is
Krishna
to be
Mataji.
naturally attached.
Great.
I muted everyone. Please unmute and read. Hare Krishna. Beautiful.
The factual position of the soul is to be naturally attentive and attracted towards the Lord, which is presently covered with the dust of modes of material nature. These dust would be cleared only by Tivira Bhakti and prolonged hearing about the Supreme Lord. By ignoring the above two, we will definitely not get complete solution to all our material miseries. This fact, Prabhu, please scroll up, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you have to unmute Prabhuji. I think you got control.
Mataji, that is not, that's the end of the verse.
There are two more lines, Mataji. This fact
Can you read that those lines?
cannot
This
be
fact
denied.
By
cannot be.
ignoring.
Yeah, please scroll it up, Prabhu.
Okay.
PPT, I don't know
Okay.
if you can scroll. I can
I'm
cover.
showing the full screen.
I'll
By
cover it up.
ignoring the
This
by
this fact,
ignoring the above two,
by
we will
ignoring the above
definitely
two,
not
we will definitely not get complete solution to all our material miseries. This fact cannot be denied by us at any point of time. There is no other way to become happy in this material world except with Srimad Bhagavatam or Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Srila Prabhupada is explaining to us in great detail that the range of our discussion may be very wide when we are attached to the material world and behaving like one in the materialistic way. Our heart and the soul around the heart is always contaminated. This contamination, as Srila Prabhupada explains, is because of the three material modes of nature. If you remember, Srila Prabhupada describes in many of his purports that the heart becomes heart of steel or very hard heart. It's also described at places as if the heart is in a cage of a steel. This is typically the heart of the materialist. When you start going on the other side of the spectrum towards the spiritual aspect, then obviously the process of decontamination or removal of the material attachment and transcending the three modes of material nature takes place, and that softens the heart. As Sri Ramanujadas Prabhuji always explains, the greatest difference between a non-devotee and the devotee is always a presence of compassion. Compassion is something that comes first to us when we start the process of devotional services. You know, there are 9 different stages that we have to pass and 9 different processes that we have to perform to ultimately achieve the prema or the rasa of the devotional service. The first change that comes into the devotee is always a compassion. What is the meaning of compassion? Compassion is that you are not thinking about yourself, you are thinking about anyone else other than yourself. Be it Krishna, be it someone standing in front of you. If he is standing in a real hot summer of afternoon, you will immediately feel what he must be feeling. He must be feeling quite choked, must be feeling fire under his soul. And so you start thinking about others. This is called as compassion. By the mercy of Lord Krishna, one receives Guru, and by the mercy of Guru, one receives Krishna. As I said before beginning the prayers, that we must pray to Lord, pray with whole heart, pray with bhava. If we are praying with bhava, with whole heart, while praying, we must be feeling involved in the prayers, and at times you get your voice choked or get the tears in your eyes. Prayers done for the sake of the prayers does not carry much meaning. When the Lord is merciful, you get the Guru, and when the Guru is merciful, you get the Lord. So it is a cycle, and we must follow it with a very humbleness to reach to the ultimate goal. Madhumai Mataji, would you like to read text 1?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Text 1. To become a pure devotee of Lord Krishna, 2 things are very much essential, namely, having a chance to be born in the family of a devotee and having the blessings of a bona fide spiritual master. By the grace of Lord Krishna, Parikshit Maharaja had both opportunities. He was born in a family of such devotees as the Pandavas, and just to continue the dynasty of the Pandavas and show them special favor, the Lord specifically saved Parikshit Maharaja Parikshit, who later on by the arrangement of the Lord was cursed by the boy of a Brahmana and was able to get the association of such a spiritual master as Shukadeva Goswami. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.1 purport. Example, Dhruva Maharaja was guided by Suniti on the path of devotional service. Later on, Lord sent Narada Muni to test Dhruva Maharaja's determination and further guide him in devotional service. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Madhumai Mataji, for wonderfully reading it out. Parikshit Maharaj is a unique personality after Arjun. 5 Pandavas, as we know very well, are the most exalted devotees of the Lord, and thus they are in a close relationship with the Lord Himself. Parikshit Maharaj was unique that before taking birth, he had Lord's Darshana. And a detail is described, which we learned in Canto 1, that someone with glittering gold headgears, kundalas, was roaming around with the gada all around, thumb size, etc. So he was the first one to have darshan of the Lord even before he took birth. He had the close association even after birth. And he was lucky to be born in the exalted family of Pandavas. And he got his training, his initiations in that family. Obviously, when you are born in a devotee's family, there is nothing much you can ask for. You are bestowed upon the greatest benedictions the world can have. Parikshit Maharaj obviously rules his kingdom as good as Yudhishthir Maharaj, and Yudhishthir Maharaj, after training him, retires and goes away. Parikshit Maharaj, in spite of doing everything, falls in a small trap of getting thirsty, asking for a water to a person who is in samadhi, thus does not realize that he is not in a conscious state. By putting the skin of a dead snake around the neck, he incited the son of the Rishi, and thus Shungi, being immature 15-year-old boy, curses, and Brahmana's curses would never go wrong. Parikshit Maharaj could have easily explained to get vowed from the out from the curse, but he would not do that because he had realized that these are the indications of the Lord to bring him back to the Lord. And thus he, without having a second thought, he leaves his family, leaves his kingdom, leaves the palace, and walks away with simple clothes to the bank of the river Yamuna. That's where he meets the last benediction of meeting with Sukadeva Goswami, a very learned top-class scholar, learned everything from his father Vyasadeva, being born in Vyasadeva family, educated, and Srimad Bhagavatam taught by the writer himself. And now he is here to recite the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. So one after the other, the benedictions to Parikshit Maharaj has been described, and the last one is with the Sukadeva Goswami, that he undergoes the Shravanam of entire Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days and 7 nights without taking a food or a water. The further example given here is the example of Dhruva Maharaj, where he is lucky to have a mother, Suniti, who explains to him about a devotional service and complaining to the Lord whatever complaint he has when he meets the Lord. Since Dhruv Maharaj had been very versatile devotee, he was then sent a help by Lord Krishna in the form of Narada Muni, who explains to him the transcendental knowledge and thus asks him to follow the devotional service to get the Devi Darshan. The second biggest obstacle, of course, after you get the guru or a spiritual master, is to give up the material attachment. Material attachment for a conditioned soul is something that comes by birth, remains with you throughout the life, and people even consider that as a true life, body is a true identity, and the illusion of the world as a true world, living their life, ending their life, and taking birth again. You only think about detaching from this illusion by identifying illusion and by realizing that you are the soul and you are not the body. This is something very big that has to happen to you in your mind conception, and that can only happen with the mercy of Lord Krishna. Until this mercy comes in, you will never be able to have the material detachment. Shashi Kumar, Hare Krishna, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Only by the mercy of Krishna can one give up material attachments. To become liberated means to become free from Dehatma Buddhi, the illusionary attachment for personal bodily coverings and everything connected with the body, namely wife, children, and all other entanglements. A devotee of the Lord never thinks of his household paraphernalia as his own, but surrenders everything for the service of the Lord. Thereby, living entities under the devotee's care get the opportunity for God realization by the management of devotee master. But an expert devotee can turn everything to the path of light by an attitude of service to the Lord. And the best example here is the Pandavas, Srimad Bhagavatam 242 purport. Example 1, life of Kardama Muni. Example 2, life of Swayambhu Manu. Hare Krishna. Then.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare.
Another two examples are given, and they also follow the same path. Prabhuji, will you be able to read text 2 as well?
Yes, Prabhuji. Text 2,
Go
example ahead. 3. Only by the mercy of Krishna can one give up material attachments. Text 2, example 3. Lord Krishna's engagements to enthrone his devotee Maharaja Yudhishthira on the throne of this earthly planet. Nishamya Bismoktam Atachyutoktam Prauratta Vijnana Viduta Vidarmaha Sharasya Sagam Indra Ivajita Shayaha.
No problem, Prabhuji, go ahead.
Being written by what was spoken by the Bhishma Deva and Lord Krishna, Sri Krishna, the infallible engaged himself in the matter of perfect knowledge because all his misgivings were eradicated. Thus, he ruled over the earth and seas and was followed by his younger brothers Srimad Bhagavatam 1.10.3. Conclusion, understanding the significance of word akinchana, Janmaishwarya Shruta Sribihi, Sribir, Yedamana Madah Puvan, Nivartate Abitam Abidatam Vai, Tvam Akinchana Gocharam. My Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty cannot approach you with sincere feeling. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.26. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sorry for the
Thank you.
mistakes, Prabhuji.
No issues, Prabhuji, no issues. These are the examples wherein the material detachment becomes easier, and that becomes easier for a pure devotee. In the realm of spiritual world, things which are considered as great and positive and exciting in the material world are the only things which are considered as negative points and may lead one to fall in the spiritual progress. Sri, Stri, these are the things which actually prevents the progress in the world. The opulence, more opulence you have, there are likelihood that you might fall while walking on a spiritual path. We all know and remember Srila Prabhupada's example that till he was doing very well in his business and earning lots and lots of money, there was no question of losing the material attachment. However, as soon as the losses started collecting, as soon as the business went bankrupt, it is the Lord's wish, Lord's mercy on Srila Prabhupada that he realized that this is the best chance now to leave the material attachment. So when the Lord brings reversals, there are always reasons for it. And that's why we always say that the Lord works in the most mysterious way. It has been commonly practiced and said among the missionaries and other people. Number one is the Lord works in the most mysterious way. And number two is help always comes from most unexpected corner. Whenever you are in a crisis, you are in a short, sudden reverse, and there seems to have no way out, remember that you're going to get help from most unexpected corner. Anyway, these are the part of the material things. So that's all about text 2. Parikshit Maharaj's disposition while hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. When we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, I always feel that before you attend the class, you must have a couple of rounds of mala and about 5 to 10 minutes of meditation on the area of the subject of the Lord that you are going to go through. This creates an apt attention in your mind, and it prevents you to go to sleep easily. Constant wrapped in thoughts of Lord Krishna is the attitude of Parikshit Maharaj. He knew very well that the death is imminent, and he could count them on his fingers. Renounced all sorts of fruitive activities, namely acts of religion, dharma, arth, kam, economic development, and sense gratification, fixed himself firmly in his natural love for Krishna. This disposition of Maharaj Parikshit towards hearing Krishna Katha makes his inquiries substantial, deep. It has been said in the material life that whatever you do, if you do the best, you will reach the top. Doesn't matter what you do, and no work is small, no work is big. Same thing applies in the devotional service and the spiritual world. Things done half-heartedly doesn't carry you long. Things not done will never carry you anywhere. But things done with full heart, full concentration, what we call with full throttle, always takes you to places that you can't imagine. That's why, in any case, we are going to do 16 rounds. We can do it 3 ways. We do it without any attention at all. We do it with half attention and think about all the material plannings of the day. Or we say, this is Krishna's time, and we do it with full force and full concentration, not allowing mind to go anywhere else. That will be a very fruitful round of mantras. We must try and do that as much with concentration, as much with love, and as much with rati or bhav as possible. Even if you are doing Hare Krishna mantra, it should create a bhav towards the Lord so deep and so powerful that it keeps you virtually on your toes. This is the only way to succeed in the spiritual path. Otherwise, you need so many births again and again, and walk slowly towards the Lord takes a very long time. Somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, how long does it take to complete the devotional service and reach to the Lord? And Srila Prabhupada said, 5 seconds. So if that kind of bhava is produced in us, even the devotional service of 5 seconds are more than enough. Remember one thing, 2 things are very important in devotional service. Number 1 is faith or shraddha. Number 2 is complete surrendering to the Lord. If you could surrender to the Lord completely, and that can be seen by your level of consciousness towards the Lord. See, wherever your attention is, that's where your consciousness is. If you are thinking about a glass of milk, your consciousness is digging around the milk and the glass. If you are thinking about Krishna all the time, at any given time, you are only thinking about Krishna. And thus, always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna is not very easy to do. Maharaj Parikshit succeeded in completing the vows of the devotional service in 7 days and 7 nights because he was totally absorbed, ready, and completely detached to get fully attached to the Lord Krishna. Audharya Gauranga Mata Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, could you read this? Parikshit Maharaj's disposition while hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam, Prabhuji.
Radha.
Dharma projit katotra parmo nirmatsara nam satam vedyam vastvam atra vastu siddham taptron moolanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimuva Parer Isvara Hirdeyo Avrudhyaste Tat Kritivi Satru Vit Takchanat. Divine Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhuji, I would suggest that try and do it in the meter. Dharma projahita kaitra paramo nirmatsara sata vedyam vastava matra vastu shivadam tapotraya moolanam Srimad Bhagavatam Mahamuni Krite Kiva Parai Ishvara Sadhyo Radhya Avarudhya Tetra Kritibihi Sushrushubi Tatskshara. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, should I try or leave it?
Okay.
Dharma projit katotra parmo nirmatsara nam satam vedyam vastum atra vastu sibdam taptron moolanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimuva Parer Isvara Sadhyo Hird Avruddhate Kritivi Susruvit Takchanat. Purport was His
Wonderful,
Divine Srila
Prabhuji.
Prabhupada.
Wonderful.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavad Purana propounds the highest truth which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, it's sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.3. Yes, Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Thank you very much, Adriya Gauranga Prabhuji. Thank you. Bhagavad Dharma is entirely different than the concept of Dharma, Artha, Kam, and Moksha. When you are following a religion for the purpose of earning or for the purpose of satisfying the sense objects and senses, and ultimately trying to achieve a moksha, which is again within the material manifested world. Dharma is used to achieve material things, and Bhagavad Dharma is against it. Bhagavad Dharma rejects any idea of material gain by following any religious principles. And that's why the devotional service or dharma should be ahaitukik, without any material desire, and it should be continuous. This is what has been described in a nutshell in this second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1. When is full potency of Srimad Bhagavatam discussion revealed? This is again very important. When the hearer is sincere and eager to hear, and speaker is perfectly uncontaminated by material tinges. Revati Ratnagi Mataji, would you like to read the purport for me?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
The
Mataji.
topics, when the hearer is sincere and eager to hear, and speaker is perfectly uncontaminated by material dangers. Text 5. Transcendental topics of the Lord, like injections when received by the sincere devotee from a person who is perfectly uncontaminated by material dangers. In other words, reception of the messages of Srimad Bhagavatam from professional men heard by a karma kandya audience never as miraculously as stated here. Devotional hearing of the messages of the Lord, not like hearing ordinary topics. Therefore, the action will be felt by the sincere hearer by experience of the gradual disappearance of ignorance. Into bracket Srimad Bhagavatam 2.5 purport. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you very much, Revati Ratnagi Mataji, for reading that part. Srila Prabhupada has always felt that professional reciters of Srimad Bhagavatam would always do things which are not right, not in the Vaishnava etiquette, to sensationalize and to publicize their name, because by process of reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, they are earning money, and the earning process, or artha, as we say, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, artha comes in, then the whole concept and idea of different Bhagavatam arises in you. And thus, Srila Prabhupada very strongly suggests that one should never hear Srimad Bhagavatam from professional reciters, Karmakandya, Brahmana, vagere. If you do that, then probably different kinds of meanings would be repercussion in your mind, and it will only materially contaminate you further. There are certain factors which is making discussion of Harikatha very effective. You know that the speaker should be qualified. Qualified speaker is a one who is at the level of a spiritual master. And we all know what the spiritual master is. Spiritual master has the knowledge of Krishna Katha, knowledge and science of Krishna Katha, what we call transcendental knowledge, and the Vedic knowledge. He practices the knowledge that he has from the Vedic scriptures and transcendental knowledge of Krishna Katha. And he also can remove argumentatively all the doubts that any other devotee could have in various Krishna Kathas. And of course, he is coming from a disciplic succession. Succession that you can connect it till Lord Krishna. The second is the eager audience. That makes you, me, and all of us. And that's why I always say that there are few qualifications which makes us a better and an eager audience. As I said earlier, spend some time having a nice bath of cleanliness. Have your tilak. Do the meditation before you start the class. This will remove the agitation from your mind, and the mind will work with a lot of concentration. Sarita Mataji, would you like to read the purport mentioned here?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Translation of
Prabhuji,
the
Sada Pranam.
verse?
Yeah. Okay.
Hare
O
Krishna.
Sutta Goswami, from there. Yeah.
Yes.
O Sutta Goswami, you are a learned and pure devotee of the Lord, because the personality of Godhead is your chief object of service. Therefore, please describe to us the pastimes of the Lord, which are above all material conception, for we are anxious to receive such messages. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.18.15. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother. Effect of such discussion between Bhagavad Pradhana speaker and Susrusatam audience. Susru is hearing, Satam is a devotee. Mataji, would you like to continue reading?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Go ahead.
Yeah. The sound incarnation of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Soul, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, enters into the heart of a realized self-realized devotee, sits on the lotus flower of his loving relationship, and thus cleanses the dust of material association, such as lust, anger, and hankering. Thus, it acts like autumnal rains upon pools of muddy water. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.8.5. Should I read the next verse also, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Okay. Those who drink through oral reception, fully filled with the nectarian message of Lord Krishna, the beloved of the devotees, purify the polluted aim of life known as material enjoyment, and thus go back to Godhead, to the lotus feet of Him, the personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.2.37. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sarita Mataji. The next issue is understanding how Lord's energies work is difficult even for advanced personalities. Text 6. Padma Kirtila Devidasi Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Padma Kirtila Devidasi. Hare Krishna Mataji. You are muted. Okay. Radha Vallabh Devidasi. Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Srila
Hare
Prabhupada
Krishna
ki
Mataji.
jai. Srila Prabhupada. O unborn one, learned Vedic scholars who are advanced in spiritual knowledge certainly know that this material world is perishable, as do other logicians and philosophers. In trance, they realize the factual position of this world, and they preach the truth as well. Yet, even they are sometimes bewildered by your illusionary energy. This is your own wonderful pastime. Therefore, I can understand that your illusionary energy is very wonderful, and I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. We all know that the Lord possesses energies, and from his own energy, the entire material manifestation is produced. It is subsequently maintained, and later at the time of annihilation, the entire energy is put back into the Lord. The process and understanding of this is very, very difficult to understand, even by the most learned scholars. And that is what has been described here. Mataji, are you ready to read for one more verse?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Therefore, the neophyte devotee, instead of jumping at once to the platform of transcendental pastimes presented by the internal energy of the Lord, may know how great the Supreme Lord is by inquiring about the process of his creative energy. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, also descriptions of the creative energy and the Lord's hand in it are explained, and the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita has warned the neophyte devotees to be seriously on guard against the pitfall of the neglecting knowledge about Krishna in regard to how great he is. Now, when one knows Lord Krishna's greatness, can one firmly put one's unflinching faith in him? Otherwise, like the common man, even the great leaders of men will mistake Lord Krishna for one of the many demigods or a historical personality or a myth only. The transcendental pastimes of the Lord in Vrindavana or even at Dwarika are relishable for persons who have already qualified themselves in advanced spiritual techniques, and the common man may be able to attain to such a plane by the gradual process of service and inquiries, as we shall see in the behavior of Maharaja Parikshit. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.6 purport. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you. It's very self-explanatory. Importance of understanding the philosophy about the Lord before being able to appreciate his pastime. Padma Kirtida Devi Dasiji, are you there?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Go ahead and read, please.
Yes, Prabhuji. Text 6 continued. Important to understand how Lord's external energy works. That is the process of creation, etc. Before understanding the workings of his internal energy, that is his pleasure potency. Each and every canto of Srimad Bhagavatam has the requisite philosophy, prayers by various devotees for us to understand the position of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam gives us every opportunity to understand the Lord's position properly and not become Sahajiyas, so-called Vaishnavas who take everything very cheaply. Example, Uddhava delivering Krishna's message to gopis. Uddhava continued, "These are the words of the personality of Godhead. My dear gopis, my dear friends, please know that separation between ourselves is impossible at any time, at any place, or under any circumstance, because I am all pervading." Reference Veda based. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
We all know the Lord has three energies: the external energy, the internal energy, and the marginal energy. We also know that the material manifestation is Lord's external energy. The living entities, including all of us, are the marginal energies. And internal potency of the Lord is Lord Himself and the Radharani. We are the marginal energies, so we can look upon both the external and internal. And depending on our desire, we look upon the external energy or material manifestation or into the spiritual sky. Lord Krishna takes away everything in the old age. He takes away one by one your senses and other things that he has given you. But one thing he doesn't touch until the last moment of your living the material body is your desire. Lord Krishna never touches the desire of the living entity. He may create circumstances for you to desire appropriately, but he would never dictate the desire. I'm sure you remember Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna faces Arjuna, who says that he doesn't want to fight a war. He is even ready to become a sannyasi and live in the jungle. After explaining Bhagavad Gita, he, the Lord, at the end, never instructs Arjun to fight the war. He asks Arjun, what would you like to do? And at that stage, Arjun says that I have surrendered myself to you and I would follow the instructions that you give. But the instructions that I understood is that I must fight the war. Srimad Bhagavatam plays a nice philosophical songs all along the prayers of various devotees. This makes us understand how great Lord Himself is and how we can praise and pray to Him. Since Lord is all pervading, Lord is always around us, with us all the time. And we don't need to look at anywhere else to find the Lord. Importance of understanding the philosophy about the Lord before being able to appreciate His pastime. Diptimati Kalindi Mataji. Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji, would you
Krishna,
like to
Prabhuji,
read?
Dandavat Pranam. Yes, Prabhuji, sure. Thank you so much.
Please go.
Purport and translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Importance of understanding the philosophy about the Lord before being able to appreciate His pastimes. Text 7 continued. In the Kathopanishad 2.2.13, the Supreme Lord is described as the chief eternal being amongst all the other eternal individual beings, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam, and the one Supreme Lord who maintains the innumerable other individual living beings, Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadhati Kaman. So, all living entities, both in the conditioned state and in the liberated state, are maintained by the Almighty Supreme Lord. Such maintenance is effected by the Lord through His different expansions of self and three principal energies, namely the internal, external, and marginal energies. The living entities are His marginal energies, and some of them, in the confidence of the Lord, are entrusted with the work of creation also, as are Brahma, Marichi, etc. And the acts of creation are inspired by the Lord unto them. Tene Brahma Hrida. Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd Canto, 4th chapter, verse number 7. Example: a potter who makes pots with mud using his wheel and his stick as tools. Here, mud, the material cause, Upadhan Karan, but it is only a raw material. It cannot change itself into a pot on its own. So, in its creation, the potter is also a cause, instrumental cause, or efficient cause, nimitta karan. The wheel, the stick, etc., are the impediments with which the potter turns mud into the pot. So, they are called supportive causes, sehakari karan. In the case of the universe, Lord Krishna combines in himself all the three roles. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you very much. It's very easy to understand. And we have come across this example earlier in earlier in the Canto 1, Chapter 1, about the Upadan Karan, or the material cause, Nimitta cause, or efficient Karan, etc. Hare Krishna, Dr. Sarita Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Koti Koti Pranam, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Nice to see you again after a long time.
Yeah, Prabhu, thank you so much.
Please go ahead and read text 8 for me.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord's activities, plans are inconceivable even for great philosophers, scholars. Text 8. Scientists who are attempting to explore outer space and are trying to reach other planets by mechanical arrangements must know for certain that organisms adapted to the atmosphere of Earth cannot exist in the atmospheres of other planets. Easy journey to other planets. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4 and 8 purport. कालकर्मा गुणाधीनो देहो अयं पंचा भौतिका कथम अन्यां स तु गोपयात् सर्पाग्रस्तो यथा param. This gross material body made of 5 elements is already under the control of the eternal time kala, action karma, and the modes of material nature guna. How then can it be already in the jaws of the serpent protect others? Srimad Bhagavatam 1.13.46. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Read further.
Thank you, Sambhika Mata Devidasi. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Qualifications for one to understand the Lord. One should be regularly engaged in study of the Vedic scripture, trying to understand love, the Supreme Lord. Have right or positive intentions while studying these scriptures. As we always say in the law, it's not what you do, it's what your intentions are that matters. And same thing matters in the spiritual world. Engage in performing devotional service to the Lord. Only those who render, understand, under uninterrupted, favorable service unto the lotus feet of the Lord, who carries the wheel of the chariot in his hand, can know the Creator of the universe in his full glory, power, and transcendence. In short, in the verses beginning from verse number 6 to 9, 4 questions are asked by Parikshit Maharaj, and this is the list of those questions. Question number 1. How does Lord create this phenomenal universe by his personal energies, which is inconceivable even to the great demigods? Question number 2. How does the Lord engage his different energies and different expansions in maintaining and winding up the phenomenal world? Question 3. The transcendental activities of the Lord appears inconceivable because even the great endeavors by many learned scholars have still proved insufficient to understand them. And the last question, whether he alone acts with the modes of material nature or simultaneously expands in many forms or expands consecutively to direct the mode of nature. So at the end of this session, Parikshit Maharaj is asking these 4 questions will be elaborately answered in the next chapter. The Lord presents his beloved devotee as more powerful than himself. It's very typical if you imagine a father or a mother describing whatever is being done by their children. Even if the son is trying to hit the ball with his bat and both never touch each other, father always exclaims, "A very good shot." and howsoever bad singing a little girl might have is always compared to better than Lata Mangeshkar, my mother. It's in other way encouraging the subordinate to come to the higher level of flying. God also gives all the credits to his devotees and shows them much more powerful than Lord himself. Shubhamai Mataji, would you like to read the examples here?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Examples: Lord Ramachandra had a bridge built for him to cross the oceans, but Hanumanji could simply jump over the ocean. Lord Vishnu expressed his inability to save Durvasa Muni, but Ambarisa Maharaj could save him. Lord Krishna, while in Vrindavana, was attacked by so many demons. However, his devotees, the six Goswamis, are described as Dhira Dhira Jana, Priya. The Goswamis are equally dear to the Dhira devotees and the Adhira demons. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted that Krishna consciousness movement will spread everywhere, but it was Srila Prabhupada who he empowered to do it. Once the Brahmana priest named Pradupna Mishra came to Mahaprabhu and told him, I would like to hear about Krishna from your lips. Mahaprabhu said, I do not know anything about Krishna, but Ramananda, I can see it. Yes, Prabhuji.
100 Mataji.
Yeah, a little bit, maybe. Yes,
Okay.
Ramananda, yes, Ramananda Rayan knows. Go to him and hear about Krishna. Take my name and perhaps he will talk with you. Yes, Prabhuji, till here I can
Thank
see.
you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prempriya Jayashri Mataji, would you like to read the text 11?
Yes,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. A devotee engages his senses in the service of the Lord as per the direction of the Lord. Text 11. Tathapi kirtayamyanga yathamati yathashrutam kirtim hare swam satkartum kiram anyapi tasatim. In spite of my inability, whatever I have been able to hear from the spiritual master and whatever I could assimilate, I am now describing in glorification of the Lord by pure speech. For otherwise, my power of speaking would remain unchaste. Maitreya Maharshi's prayer before beginning to glorify the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.6.36. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Mataji, would you like to read this as well?
Sure, Prabhuji, sure. The Lord is the liberator of devotees from distresses. Text 13. Bhuyo namah sad vrijita chide asatam. Asambhavakhila sattvamurtaye pumsam punah paramhamsyam ashrame vyavasthitanam anumbrugya dashushe. I'm sorry, Prabhuji, just little, yeah. I again offer my respectful obeisances unto the form of complete existence and transcendence, who is the liberator of the pious devotees from all distresses and all the destroyer of the further advances in atheistic temperament of the non-devotee demons. For the transcendentalists who are situated on the topmost spiritual perfection, he grants their specific destinations. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.13. Prachetasa uchuhu Namo Nama Klesha Vinashanaya Nirupito Dara Punayaya Manovacho Vaiga Puro Javaya Sarvaksha Margair Agata Dhvane Namaha. The Pratitas spoke as follows: Dear Lord, you relieve all kinds of material distress. Your magnanimous, transcendental qualities and holy name are all auspicious. This conclusion is already settled. You can go faster than the speed of mind and words. You cannot be perceived by material senses. We therefore offer you respectful obeisances again and again. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.30.22. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. The Lord is the constant companion of his devotees. Maharaj Parikshit heard that out of his causeless mercy, Lord Krishna or Vishnu, who is universally obeyed, rendered all kinds of services to the malleable sons of Pandu by accepting post, ranging from chariot driver to presiding over messenger, friend, night watchman, etc., according to the will of the Pandavas, obeying them like a servant and offering obeisances like one younger in years. When he heard these, Maharaj Parikshit became overwhelmed with devotion to the lotus feet of the Lord. 1.16.16. Purification of one's existence is ensured by taking shelter of any of these processes of devotional service. Would you like to read, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. Purification of one's existence is ensured by taking shelter of any of these processes of devotional service. Text 15. Tathapi kirtayamyanga yathamati yatha shrutam kirtim hare swam satkartum kiram anyapi dasatim. In spite of my inability, whatever I have been able to hear from the spiritual master and whatever I could assimilate, I am now describing in glorification of the Lord by pure speech, or otherwise my power of speaking would remain unchaste. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.6.36. Yad anudhyasina yuktaha karma granthi nibandhanam chiddanti kovidastasya kona kuryat katharatim. With sword in hand, intelligent men cut through the binding knots of reactionary work, karma. By remembering the personality of Godhead, by remembering the personality of Godhead. Therefore, who will not pay attention to his message? Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.15. Yan namadheya shravananu kirtanat yat brahvanat yat smaranat api kvachit shvadopi sadhyah savaniya kalpate utah punaste bhagavan nudarshanat. To say nothing of the spiritual advancement of persons who see the Supreme Person face to face, even a person born in a family of dog eaters immediately becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices if he once utters the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisances, or even remembers him. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.33.6. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Purification of one's existence is ensured by taking shelter of any of the processes of devotional service. We're just continuing into the same pitch about the devotional service and the glorification of the devotional service. The last one is, which is the place worthy of staying? An intelligent person does not take interest in a place, even in a topmost planetary system, if the pure Ganges of topics concerning the Supreme Lord's activities does not flow there, if there are not devotee is engaged in service on the banks of such river of piety, or if there are no festivals of Sankirtana Yagna to satisfy the Lord, especially since Sankirtana Yagna is recommended in this age. This is the place that one would look for. Mataji, would you like to read the? We'll continue because this part is also to be taken.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah,
Little bit of
go ahead.
devotional service is better than lot of karma kanda, jnana kanda. Text 16. वेदेषु यत्नेषु तपस्सु चैव दानेषु यत् पुण्यफलं प्रदिष्टम् अत्येति तत् सर्वम् इदं विदित्वा योगी परं स्थानम् उपैति चाद्यम्. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply, by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. Bhagavad Gita 8.28.
You like to continue, Mataji?
Yeah, I don't mind. Yes, sure, Prabhuji. Success of any activity we do is only dependent on how we please the Supreme Lord. Text 70. Ata pumbir sreshta varnashrama vibhagashah Sanushtistasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. O best among the twice born, it's therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation according to caste divisions and orders of life is to please the personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.13. Dharma svanushtita pumsam Vishwaksena katha suyah notpadayet yadi ratim shama eva hi kevalam. The occupational activities of a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.8. Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji, I think I bothered you enough.
No. Please don't, Prabhuji. It's my punya actually. I'm blessed. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I can read. Can I read, Prabhuji?
Go ahead, Mataji.
Text 17 continued. Understanding the real self-interest, Lord Vishnu, Krishna. Nate viduhu svartagatim hi Vishnum durashaya bahirartamaninaha andayatandair upaniyamanaste apishatantriam urudam nibaddaha. Persons who are strongly entrapped by the consciousness of enjoying material life and who have therefore accepted as their leader or guru a similar blind man attached to the external sense objects cannot understand that the goal of life is to return home back to Godhead and engage in the service of Lord Vishnu. As blind men guided by another blind man miss the right path and fall into a ditch, materially attached men led by another materially attached man are bound by the ropes of fruitive labor, which are made of very strong cords, and they continue again and again in materialistic life, suffering the threefold miseries. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.31. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Potency of taking shelter of devotees. Text 18. Kirata hunandra pulinda pulkasha abhira shumbha yavanaha kasadayaha ye anye cha papayat apashaya shrayaha shuddhyanti tasmai prabha vishnave namaha. Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhira, Shumbha, Yavana, members of the Khasa races and even others addicted to sinful acts can be purified by taking shelter of the devotees of the Lord due to his being the supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.18. Ye anye cha papa yad apashaya shayaha shuddhyanti tasmai indicates Lord's potency to purify people who approach him, take his shelter, as well as those who take shelter of ones who have taken his shelter. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Krishna
Okay,
Bhakta, I will continue Prabhuji.
Okay. Continue this one and then Samvika Mataji. Go ahead. You continue
Hare
with this
Krishna
one.
Prabhuji. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama, a devotee is truly desireless. Text 19. Salokya sasti samipya sarupyaikatvam api uta diyamanam na grunanti vinamat sevanam janaha. A pure devotee does not accept any kind of liberation. Salokya, Sarsti, Samipya, Sarupya or Ekatva, even though they are offered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.29.13. Example, devotees like Sridhara Kulavecha, Prahlada Maharaj. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Radha Vallavi Mataji. Samvika Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Dandavat Pranam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama, a devotee is truly desireless. Text 19 continued. Yesham sa esha bhagavan dayayed antataha sarvat manashritaha pado yadi nirvayalikam te dustaraham atitaranti cha deva mayam neshaham maham iti dihi swasraglaha bhakshaye. But anyone who is specifically favored by the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, due to unalloyed surrender unto the service of the Lord, can overcome the insurmountable ocean of illusion and can understand the Lord. But those who are attached to this body, which is meant to be eaten at the end by the dogs and jackals, cannot do so. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.7.42. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Mataji, would you like to continue?
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Who is truly favored by Lakshmi ji? Mat prapte he jesha shusha sura suraha dasya dayas tapyanta ugram tapa indriye he diya rate he bhavat padha parayana annamam vidanti aham twadhrideha yatojita ajita. O Supreme, unconquerable Lord, when they become absorbed in thoughts of material enjoyment, Lord Brahma and the Lord Shiva, as well as the other demigods and demons, undergo severe penances and austerities to receive my benedictions. But I do not favor anyone, however great he may be. Useless he is, always engaged in the service of your lotus, unless he is always engaged in the service of your lotus feet. Because I always keep you within my heart, I cannot favor anyone but a devotee. Srimad Bhagavatam 5.18.22. Every activity should be done with an intent to please the Lord. Text 20 continued. Yatha taror mula nischinena tripyanti hi tatskandhaha bhujo para pashakaha pranopahara yaha yatendriyanam tathaiva sarvahanam achyuteja. As pouring water on the root of the tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body, simply worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service automatically satisfies the demigods who are parts of the Supreme Personality. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.31.14. Radha Mataji, you want to read? Her hand is raised.
Okay, Mataji.
Prabhuji, she can read?
Yes, go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah, her hand is
Hare,
raised actually from
Hare
down.
Krishna.
Okay. Thank you.
Meditating on Lord's lotus feet. Text 21. Sanchited Bhagavatas Charnarvindam Vrajna Kusha Dvaja Saroruhu Lanchanadhyam Uttanugha Rakta Vilasana Nak Chakravala Jyotisanabhir Ahata Mahad Dhyanakaram. The devotee should first concentrate his mind on the Lord's lotus feet, which are adorned with the marks of the thunderbolt, a goat, a banner, and a lotus. The splendor of their beautiful ruby nails resembles the orb of the moon and dispels the dispels the thick gloom of one's heart. Text Srimad Bhagavatam 3.28.21.
Prema Priya Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhuji, I would like to. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Meditating on Lord's lotus feet. Text 21 continued. This one, Prabhuji. This one, yeah. Yan nirvritis tanupratam tava pada padma ध्यानाद् भवज्जन कथा श्रवणेन वा स्यात् सा भ्रमणि स्वमहिमनि अपि नाथ मा भूत् किं त्वन्तकाशी लुलितात् पततां विमानात्. My Lord, the transcendental bliss derived from meditating upon your lotus feet or hearing about your glories from pure devotees is so unlimited that it is far beyond the stage of Brahmananda, wherein one thinks himself merged in the impersonal Brahman, as one with the Supreme. Since Brahmananda is also defeated by the transcendental bliss derived from devotional service, then what to speak of the temporary blissfulness of elevating oneself to the heavenly planets, which is ended by the separating sword of time? Although one may be elevated to the heavenly planets, he falls down in due course of time. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.9.10.
Revati Ratnagi Mataji, go ahead, Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी. कृष्णो कीर्तन गाना नर्तना काल पदोजनी प्राजिता असत्भक्तावली हंसा चक्रा मधुब श्रेणी विहारस्पदम कर्णांदी कला ध्वनिर वहतु मे मरु प्रंगने श्री चैतन्य दयानिधे तवालस लीला सुधा स्वर्धुनी. O my merciful Lord Chaitanya, may the nectarian Ganges waters of your transcendental activities flow on the surface of my desert-like tongue. Beautifying these waters are the lotus flowers of singing, dancing, and loud chanting of Krishna's holy name, which are the pleasure abodes of unalloyed devotees. These devotees are compared to swans, ducks, and bees. The rivers flowing produces a melodious sound that gladdens their ears. CC Adi Leela 2.2. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Subhamai Mataji.
Hare Krishna
Mataji, you are
Prabhuji.
good.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Go ahead, Mataji.
A pure devotee sees Lord everywhere. Text 21 continued. The mystic yogis, after the strenuous efforts of control, the senses may be situated in the trance of yoga just to have a vision of supersoul within everyone. But the pure devotee, simply by remembering the Lord's lotus feet at every second, at once become established in the real trance, which because by such realization his heart, his mind, and intelligence are completely cleansed of the disease of material enjoyment. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.21 purport. Quotations from Sri Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Stavara Jangama dekhi na dekhi tara mukti sarvatra hayanija ista deva spurti. The Mahabhagavata, the advanced devotee, certainly sees everything mobile and immobile, but he does not exactly see their forms. Rather, everywhere he immediately sees manifests the form of the Supreme Lord. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 8.2.74. Exam. X, I don't know what's this, meeting between Srila Pundarika Vidyanidhi and Gadadhara Pandit.
Thank you, Mataji. Prabhupada Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll read it. Yeah. Understanding Srila Shukadeva Goswami's prayers. Text 22. May the Lord, who in the beginning of the creation amplified the potent knowledge of Brahma from within his heart and inspired him with full knowledge of creation and of his own self, and who appeared to be generated from the mouth of Brahma, be pleased with me. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.22. Why is Shukadeva Goswami offering this prayer to the Supreme Lord in relation to Brahma? Import. Unless Lord empowers a person, no one can describe or properly glorify the Lord. Example, Dhruva Maharaj, when touched by Lord Vishnu with his conch shell, was then able to offer beautiful prayers to the Lord. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dependence of a Bhagavatam speaker on previous acharyas. Text 22 continued. Suta Goswami's prayer to his spiritual master, Shukadeva Goswami. Yam pravajantam anupetam apeta krityam daivapayano viraha katara ajuhava putreti tan mayataya taravo abhinedus tam sarvabhuta hridayam munim anatosmi. Srila Goswami, Suta Goswami said, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto that great sage, Shukadeva Goswami, who can enter the hearts of all. When he went away to take up the renounced order of life sannyasa, leaving home without undergoing reformation by the sacred thread or the ceremonies observed by the higher castes, his father Vyasadeva, fearing separation from him, cried out, "O my son, indeed, only the trees which were absorbed in the same feelings of separation echoed in response to the bereaved father." Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.2. Ya swanubhavam akilashrutis saram ekam adhyatmadipam atirishtrata satam tamondam samsarinam karunayaha purana guhyam tam vyasa shunam upayami guru muninam. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, Shuka, the spiritual master of all sages, the son of Vyasadeva, who, out of his great compassion for those gross materialists who struggle to cross over the darkest regions of material existence, spoke this most confidential supplement to the cream of Vedic knowledge, after having personally assimilated it by experience. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.3. A devotee always thinks of himself as an instrument in Lord's hands. Text 23. As a fully dependent devotee, Shukadeva Goswami, unlike a mundane man who is proud of his own capability, invokes the pleasure of the personality of Godhead so that his statements may be successful and be appreciated by the hearers. The devotee always thinks of himself as instrumental for anything successfully carried out, and he declines to take credit for anything done by himself. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.20 purport. Prayers by Srila Prabhupada, Jaladuta. Aniyacho yadi Prabhu amare na chate nachao Prabhu nachao se mate kashtera puttali jatha nachao se mate. O Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance. Make me dance, O Lord, make me dance as you like. Bhakti nai vedanai name kuptaro. Bhakti Vedanta nam ebe sarthaka koro. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as Bhakti Vedanta, and now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhakti Vedanta. Reference, there's a reference given there, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for allowing me 10 minutes more. Actually, I was supposed to take until 15, but then I believe someone took some parts yesterday. So we had to take from 16 to 25. We have completed the whole chapter. Thank you very much. Any question, any doubts, any commentary, any addition, any revelation, please go ahead. We have crossed the time. If there are no questions, I thank you very much for attending the class. I
Hare
wish you
Krishna,
all
Prabhuji.
a wonderful Krishna conscious day ahead. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna to everyone.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Thank you so much,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
Dadat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare